Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Pain to Power. I'm your host, Jill Ripley, and I'm here to walk alongside you as we explore healing, build resilience, and learn how to turn our deepest pain into our greatest strength. Today, we'll be exploring grief in all its forms: loss of people, loss of identity, loss of relationships, health, purpose, and how to process it fully and move towards healing. Grief isn't just about death. It's about change. It's about letting go of what was and learning how to live with what is. Today, I want to talk to you about the many faces of grief and how you can feel it fully so you can release it and move towards peace. This episode is especially close to my heart. The month of August marks the anniversary of a loss that changed my life forever. August 13th, 2021, 4 years ago, my youngest daughter and her father passed forward together in a motorcycle accident. No warning, no time to prepare. It split my world in two. And the day after was my birthday. The reason I use the term passed forward is that it is my devout belief that when the soul exits the physical body, it is not lost or gone, but moves forward into the next phase of spiritual evolution. Grief has taught me things that no textbook ever could, and today I want to pass some of that on to you. Let's start by redefining grief. We tend to associate grief with death. But grief wears many faces. Grief is the ache you feel when a relationship ends. It's the heaviness when a job, a business, or a dream falls apart. It's the identity shift that comes along with aging, illness, sobriety, becoming an empty nester. It's what we feel when we lose a version of ourselves or a life that we thought we'd have. We grieve lost childhoods. We grieve homes that we had to leave. We grieve the time that we can't get back. Sometimes we even grieve things that we never had. The parent who couldn't love us the way we expected. The safety we never got to feel. The life we dreamed of but didn't get. Grief is a response to loss. Any loss that feels significant. And it doesn't follow a timeline. It doesn't ask for permission, and it doesn't care if it makes other people feel uncomfortable. Grief, at its core, is love in motion. It's what happens when the love we have has nowhere to go. No person, no role, no familiar routine to pour into. But here's the thing. If there were no love, there would be no grief. So when you're in pain, when the tears won't stop or the ache feels unbearable, please try to remember this hurt is evidence of how deeply you cared. Grief isn't a sign that something's wrong with you. It's a reflection of the beauty and meaning that once existed. In a way, it's love's echo, reminding you that what mattered still matters, just in a different context. After my daughter and her father's passing, I felt like I was floating outside my own body. Everything hurt. Everything was surreal. I felt uncomfortably numb. I literally felt as though someone took a blowtorch and aimed it at my heart. It felt like burning when I would breathe. There's a silence that follows deep grief. A kind of numbness that people don't often talk about. And when you're sober, you feel it all. You can't numb it. You can't drink it away. You just sit with it. And as hard as it was, I am so grateful I was sober because I was present. I could cry. I could scream. I could fall apart and still hold on to the truth that grief wasn't here to destroy me. It was here to help me heal. And in order to do that, I had to fully feel all of it. Grief doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. Grief means that something mattered deeply to you. So, what happens when grief goes unprocessed? When we don't allow ourselves to grieve, we carry the pain in our bodies. It can show up as anxiety, depression, irritability, chronic tension, fatigue, or illness. We might become reactive in our relationships or numb out completely. Unprocessed grief becomes emotional residue, stuck energy, and we can't heal what we won't allow ourselves to feel. That's why feeling your feelings is never weakness, it's wisdom, it's strength, it's natural and completely normal. Oftentimes, we're grieving things that others may not understand. There are many types of grief that society doesn't always recognize or provide support for. For instance, the grief of a miscarriage or a stillbirth. The mother may feel a profound sense of sadness and yearning. She could feel anger at her own body for not being able to viably support the pregnancy. She may feel envy or pain around other women's pregnancies. She may even feel isolated or misunderstood. Understanding these feelings can give you a guide to offering support to someone who's suffered this type of loss. In the case of a divorce or a breakup, you're not just grieving the loss of a person, you're grieving the shared dreams, the private rituals, the intimacy, the inside jokes. You're grieving the version of yourself who felt loved, seen, or at least familiar. And that deserves acknowledgement. Even if no one else sees the depth of what you've lost, you may feel shock and disbelief, even if you knew it was coming. The reality of being apart can feel surreal. You may feel like a failure, grieving the loss of a dream, the future you envisioned, the plans you made, the life you thought you'd have. This is all normal and is worthy of validation. If you've been estranged with someone, grief becomes complicated. You might still see the person on social media, hear about them through others, or even live in the same town. And yet there's this invisible wall. You grieve not just the loss of the relationship, but the hope that things could be different. The grief of estrangement can make you feel a deep sense of being unwanted, cast aside, or not good enough. If you're a parent that was cut off, you may feel ashamed or judged by others who don't know or fully understand the full story. You may be confused, wondering what went wrong. Could I have done something differently? Perhaps even feeling powerless to fix the situation. See these feelings for what they are, normal processes that need to be seen and acknowledged. And the grief of losing a pet. Our pets are often the ones who love us when we're messy, broken, or at our worst. They're the ones who give us a place to put our love, especially for those that live alone, without human companionship. They don't judge. They're just there every day. So when they're gone, it leaves a huge hole. And even though society doesn't always honor that grief, it's real, it's raw, and it deserves reverence. Losing a pet can make a home feel eerily empty. You miss the routine of feeding them, hearing the sound of their paws or the jingle of the collar, the way they greeted you at the door. Every day feels out of rhythm. Honor the loss and feel all that comes along with that. With anything that you're grieving, just know that if it mattered to you, it's valid. Full stop. Everyone feels and deals with grief in their own unique way. No one outside of you can ever know exactly what you're feeling inside. You don't have to justify your grief. You don't need permission to feel it. And just as with any other type of grief, seeking professional guidance is one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself. So how do we move through grief in a healthy way? Grief needs expression. And here are a few ways to support yourself through it. Number one is to name it. Say it out loud. I'm grieving. I feel sad today. My heart is aching right now. Give your pain a voice. Number two, allow yourself to feel it fully. Cry, scream, write. Let it move through you. Number three, create a ritual around it. Light a candle, write a letter, honor the loss in a tangible way. This can bring a real sense of closure. And number four, talk about it with a therapist, a trusted friend, or a support group. Number five, move your body. Walk, dance, stretch. Let the emotion move through you. And number six, most of all, give yourself time and compassion. Healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel fine and you'll feel like you've moved past it. And other days, something will pop into your awareness and bring back a full rush of emotions that can feel overwhelming. In these moments, make sure to give yourself compassion and recognize that this is completely normal. Over time, these moments will become less and less frequent. Don't rush yourself to feel better. You're not a problem to fix. You're human, learning how to carry what can't be changed. And make no mistake, it can be heavy at times. But with the right tools and self-compassion, the heaviness does dissipate over time. A grounding reflection or meditation in moments of deep pain can be a great tool to have in your toolbox. We'll take a few minutes now to talk about one I created for you. So here, I encourage you to take a seat. Inhale and exhale 3 deep cleansing breaths. And then, as you breathe in, just recite to yourself, I am allowing this pain. And as you breathe out, so I can release this pain. I am allowing this pain so I can release this pain. Repeat this over and over. Do this for as long as you feel is necessary. It may not totally alleviate the feeling, but it will reduce the sting. Time will take care of the rest. Do this as often as you need to in order to deal with pain in a healthy way. I encourage you to see that your grief is not too much. Your sadness is not weakness, and healing is your birthright. You're allowed to mourn what was. You're allowed to hurt. You're allowed to rage. And remember, you are also allowed to feel joy again. This episode is my heart poured out to you. If you're grieving something right now, I want you to know that you're not alone. You are loved, you are held, and you are healing. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Message me at empoweredbythestorm.com or connect with me on Instagram at empoweredbythestorm. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, stay loving, and stay empowered.